Actuate Foundation Outlook for 2026. Executive Summary. The Actuate Foundation enters 2026 having crossed a decisive threshold from conception to capital formation, from vision to velocity. If 2025 was the year of Genesis, when ideas were disciplined into institutions, philosophies into protocols, and hope into architecture, then 2026 is the year of multiplication. Built upon the establishment of Actuate Academy, the Actuate Society of Decentralized Science, and a growing ecosystem of mission-driven tokens, Actuate now turns toward scale, liquidity, and global participation. Guided by Stoic prudence and animated by moral clarity, the work ahead is not speculative, but structural, converting conviction into capital and capital into durable systems for global health, African innovation, women's economic sovereignty, and decentralized science. Through mechanisms such as liquidity pools, quadratic funding, and retroactive public goods funding, and symbolized by the Boston Marathon for global health, 2026 signals endurance with purpose. This outlook invites the world not to donate, but to steward, not to hope passively, but to build deliberately. This is not charity. It is coordination. It is architecture. It is actuate. From conception to capital formation, from vision to velocity. 2025 as the year of Genesis. In the Stoic imagination, history advances not by accident, but by preparation. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Seneca reminds us. The year 2025 stands as Actuate Foundation's year of disciplined preparation. The year in which ideas were not merely imagined, but incarnated into institutions. Actuate Academy was established as a living school of economic reason, a place where blockchain, decentralized finance, health systems, and moral philosophy converge. It became not simply a curriculum, but a formation of character, echoing Epictetus' insistence that education exists to teach us how to live. Alongside it arose the Actuate Society of Decentralized Science, a fellowship rather than a forum committed to the liberation of knowledge from gatekeeping and the restoration of science as a public good. Weekly gatherings at the Kirsten Business Library in Boston gave this society rhythm and gravity, proof that decentralized systems still require embodied community. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings no benefit to the bee." 2025 was also the year of token conception as moral architecture. The Economic Justice Token, EJT, emerged as a theory of fairness rendered executable. The Neuroscience Centers for Africa token articulated a future where cognition, mental health, and neurodevelopment are treated as continental priorities. The Mumbai token laid an economic foundation for African women in decentralized finance, not as beneficiaries, but as sovereign participants and capital allocators. Actuate Hope arose as the animating spirit, the narrative engine that binds technology to transcendence. Advisory leadership on TokenBrick advanced real-world asset tokenization for African land, housing, and infrastructure. The reimagining of the Ubrica One Biomed Industrial City reframed Africa not as a recipient of innovation, but as its industrial author. Action Finance joined the Actuate platform, extending the financial bloodstream of the ecosystem. These works were not hidden. Actuate stepped onto the public stage at CONV2X in Cambridge, articulating Africa's blockchain future to global technologists. IDE Ventures Capital LP was established to channel disciplined capital into these visions. And the Boston Marathon for Global Health 2027 was conceived, a civilizational metaphor made physical, endurance in service of life. Finally, the Actuate token began its true work, assembling a network of belief, participation, and shared destiny across all these projects. 2025, then, was the year of logos, the word spoken into structure. 2026, the year of capital, commitment, and scale. If 2025 was Genesis, 2026 is multiplication. George Gilder teaches us that wealth does not arise from material accumulation, but from faith, risk, and imagination. Capital flows toward confidence, and confidence flows toward meaning. The primary objective of 2026 is therefore clear: to convert moral clarity into financial liquidity, and financial liquidity into global health, African innovation, and human flourishing. 1. The Boston Marathon for Global Health as a global signal. In 2026, the Boston Marathon for Global Health becomes a planetary megaphone. It is not merely a race, but a ritual broadcasting to hundreds of millions that endurance, sacrifice, and solidarity still matter. Marathon registrants will be invited into a deeper understanding why liquidity pools using the Actuate token are not speculation but shared resilience, why global health requires continuous liquidity, not episodic charity. As Seneca warned, no good thing benefits its possessor unless it is shared. 2. Liquidity pools as Stoic instruments of stability. Participants will learn that liquidity pools are modern expressions of ancient Stoic prudence. They reduce fragility, they distribute risk, they reward long-term participation over short-term extraction. In this sense, liquidity becomes ethical infrastructure, capital that works while its stewards sleep, funding clinics, data systems, education, and scientific discovery. 3. Retroactive public goods funding, rewarding virtue after the fact. 2026 will introduce supporters to retroactive public goods funding, a concept the Stoics would immediately recognize. Virtue is proven by action, not promise. Retroactive funding rewards what has already benefited the commons. Health outcomes achieved, women empowered, systems built. It is Marcus Aurelius' principle encoded in smart contracts. Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. 4. Quadratic funding, the mathematics of justice. Quadratic funding will be explained not as abstraction, but as justice made legible. It amplifies many small voices over a few loud ones, aligning perfectly with Actuate's commitment to community-driven health, science, and finance. This is the Stoic Republic reborn in code. 3. Institutional expansion and fundraising focus. 2026 will see IDE Ventures capital take center stage, mobilizing philanthropic, venture, and diaspora capital into healthcare blockchains for African neuroscience, infrastructure women-led DeFi ecosystems, biomed industrial cities, tokenized real-world assets. Simultaneously, Actuate Academy registrations will expand globally, forming a pipeline of discipline builders. Actuate Society of Decentralized Science will grow as a moral intellectual commons. Mumbai Actuate Hope, EJT, neuroscience tokens, Token Brick, and Action Finance will be promoted not as isolated projects, but as organs of a single living system. Point 4. A Stoic abundance. The Stoics taught that abundance is not excess, but sufficiency aligned with purpose. 2026 is abundant because it offers abundance of meaning, abundance of opportunity, abundance of participation. No one is merely a donor. Everyone is a steward. As Epictetus wrote, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. 5. Conclusion. Hope with spine. The Actuate Foundation outlook for 2026 is not optimistic by naivete, but hopeful by discipline. The structures are built. The philosophy is clear. The capital pathways are open. 2026 invites the world to run not away from crisis, but toward coherence, toward a future where global health is liquid, science is decentralized, Africa is capitalized, women are sovereign, and hope is executable. This is not charity. This is architecture. This is endurance. This is Actuate,